you. Mr. Cole.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me join many others and just thank all three of you for your service and your professionalism. I've had the opportunity to interact with you probably in ways you don't even remember in some cases a lot over the course of your careers, and just have always been impressed again with the professionalism and the absolute dedication all three of you have shown to the country. So it's much appreciated, and we wish you well and General Milley and whatever your next endeavor is, but you certainly rendered exceptional service to our country. So thank you for that. I'm going to thank one other entity while I'm chatting here, and that's the United States Congress, because General Milley went through the higher state of operational readiness we have and some of the things we've accomplished. It struck me that Congress has actually given the Department of Defense, and there's some differences even on this panel about that, more money than President Trump asked for and more money than President Biden has asked for. So Congress is, in a sense, responsible for those higher rates of readiness, because we've used our judgment to say whatever the president's asked for may all be good. We think we need a little bit more, and I think that comes out of some of the things that happened with sequester and the Budget Control Act during President Obama's era. But anyway, those things have led us to a better position, and my hope is we'll do that again, quite frankly. I think your budget, there's a lot of good things in here. I think it needs to be more. 3.2% in an era of 6% inflation is effectively a cut in inflation-adjusted dollars. There's two areas I want to both ask you about and flag for you that, and for the committee, that I'll be working on. And it's somewhat parochial, but I think it's in the national interest. The first is disappointed to see, particularly given the importance of artillery, as we've seen in the situation in Ukraine, to see for the third year in a row, the Army has cut the PIM, the Paladin Integrated Management Program. We managed to restore those cuts last year. I think probably, we're still furnishing that system to the active and the National Guard, and we're now sending lots of it to our allies and to the Ukrainians as well. So I would just tell you there's not enough in the Army's budget to maintain the production lines that exist there. So I would ask you to, why the cut? And the answer may be that you just have too many other things to do. I get it. Your business is tough choices. But I would argue that's a bad choice right now, particularly given the situation in Ukraine. The second is one that is something that we all want to accomplish together. I just worry about the rate of it. And that's the transition from the E3 to E7 command and control platform. I have Tinker Air Force Base in my district. I have Fort Sill Army Post in my district. And I'm all for transitioning from the E3 to the E7. It's a good decision. Should have honestly been done some time ago. But the rate of retirement for those E3s is well ahead of the rate of acquisition. And that's partly just a production problem. I mean, it takes a while to get a new aircraft up and running. And I worry about that interim time, because I think we are in a very dangerous world here where you're going to lose capacity. I'm not for keeping the E3s. I just want to bring on E7s as we retire E3s, so that we never put you in the situation where you have to deny a combatant commander some capability that he or she thinks they need. And those are two I would just flag for you, and then ask for any response about either of those items I mentioned.
Well, first of all, let me thank you and the entire Congress for your incredible support over the years, and I absolutely agree with you that we could not be who we are and do what we do without the tremendous support, tremendous congressional support that we are provided routinely. So thanks so much for that. On the Paladin, we continue to see the importance of artillery, in the war fighting. Of course, you've seen us really hustle to make sure that Ukrainians have not only the weapon systems, but the munitions that they need to remain effective in this fight. The Army feels that the rate that they're being produced right now, it meets their needs, and it also allows them to invest in future capabilities as well. And so as the needs change, then the Army, of course, will
Just
continue
to make the point, Mr. Secretary, not to interrupt you, it meets your needs because Congress put more of them in there than you asked for last time. And we're reverting back to the same number. And I would just suggest, look, you got a lot of stuff across a lot of areas to deal with, and I respect that. You have to make a lot of really hard decisions. This one, I think, is one that you run the risk of shutting down the line to some degree. So, I mean, we intervened the last 2 times and got it, and again, you got what you need. Maybe we can do that again, but I don't think they're being produced at the rate we need in your budget. They are being produced at the rate we need right now. Okay. So I interrupted you, and I apologize, went over time, yield back.
Thanks, gentlemen.